Hi guys, so here's the new video, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It's a aircraft model in 1/72 scale, and it might be familiar for some of you who've seen the previous versions of this model because it's a Ki-21, and this time we get a Thailand's heavy bomber version. In 1/72 scale, it is still an interesting build, which is quite large, I would say, for its scale because it's a twin engine bomber, but we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video, and of course we will be checking all of the parts even closer than what you will see in the review article. By the way, for those of you who sometimes miss the photos of the sprues, I remind you that you can find the link to the review article here in the description of this video, and also you'll find there the link for some donations if you would like to support us. So first of all, again, the small reminder that this is the commercial sample. It means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video. In 1/72 scale, it's a completely fresh release, I would say. It was released some time ago, but it can be considered as a new plastic. Box size is typical for this type of release from ICM, so here is comparison with my hand. And on the side you'll find a short history note and also some information about the model itself. So we have 163 parts, and wingspan will be 314 millimeters, and as I said, it is quite impressive for a 1/72 scale aircraft. And here you can see that we have 4 markings in total, so for 1/72 scale this is more than enough in my opinion. And box is sealed with this tape, as you can see, on all 4 sides, so I will just cut through it and then we can start our video review. In the meantime, I can of course remind you that if the seals are broken, it means that somebody was opening the box before you, and it might be a good idea first of all to check the parts, and the second is to ask seller why it was opened, and maybe to ask for some discount, who knows. Okay, so as you remember, the top cover is color printed, but it does not provide any protection to the model, and actually I missed 2 more stickers. I don't know why there are 3 stickers on one side. Usually ICM does 1 sticker on each side, so here we have 1 extra here and also extra here. Okay, so now we should be fine. So as I said, it's a top cover, let's say the top lid, and it does not provide any protection because it's quite flexible. This white cardboard box, what is actually ensuring that all of your parts arrive intact. As you can see, packaging is not that tight, so all parts have some space, and I really doubt that you will get some damaged parts even during rough shipment. Mine, for example, arrived with help of postal service, but still it is fine, even though sometimes they manage to do really impressive damage when I'm not sure how they even do so. Okay, so now I'm opening this plastic bag. It's a resealable plastic bag, by the way, so that's why it's easy and quick to open, and you can hear a lot of, let's say, plastic sounds. So first of all, I would like to start with the fuselage half. So here is one of the parts. Let's zoom in, maybe we can place it like that. So this part looks quite nice in my opinion, because here we have recess panel lines, and as you can notice, the tail surfaces, they will be installed separately. If I flip it over, here inside we have guiding elements, and also we have some interior features such as interior structure, which is really cool because well, all of these details are appreciated out of the box. It means that you do not have to do your own scratch building, and you can focus on something else. But of course, it's also the question how you can expose it, because for example here on the next fuselage half we have this door pre-molded, so you won't be able to open it and expose what is inside, but maybe it will be visible through the canopy because it's relatively big for such aircraft. And here again you can see the interior of the other fuselage half. Next we continue with the bigger sprue. So here we have wing parts, and maybe I will zoom out in a second so that you can understand what I'm talking about. So here we have these 2 wing halves. As you can see, they should combine into one. We have flaps pre-molded, but ailerons are separate. We also have the engine gondolas here, one-piece propeller, and some of the cockpit parts are here, so everything looks really fine. And just to give you an idea of the wingspan, so here is the comparison with my hand. It's quite a large part, but again we get the recessed panel lines as the external features on this wing part, but they're not that deep, so be sure not to overdo the layers of primer and paint. And if we flip it over here, you can see that we have some guiding elements, which is also quite handy, and the same applies to this engine gondolas. So quite a smart design, especially for this small scale. It will be handy because you have to get some help in the alignment, and ICM actually thought about it and gives you a chance to get the right fitment. Next we continue with two identical plastic sprues. So I will show you only one because here we have the engine parts and some of the landing gear parts, which is not surprising because it's a twin engine aircraft. And as you can see, for example, the landing gear wheels, they should be glued out of two halves. And if you manage to find some resin replacement, it might be a good idea, because here, even though the model is molded in 1/72 scale, the landing gear wheels are quite a large element of the aircraft. And of course, all the engine parts, they're also quite prominent, so really nice thing to have here. Okay, next we continue with another gray plastic sprue. This one is actually also interesting because we do not have the tail fin molded separately. We have the whole tail section molded separately, and as you can see we have the special tabs here which will help you with alignment. But overall I really like such design because it allows you or manufacturer to copy several versions of the aircraft without any serious modifications. Note that also the elevators are separate here, and if I flip it over here we have guiding pins which will help you with alignment again. Next we have the separate plastic bag for the clear plastic sprue, so those parts look nice. I'm not sure if we will actually get the masking template, because as you remember ICM does not include the masks, they include the templates in some of the recent releases. So fingers crossed this one will also get the masking template, and then we will be fine, because it's still better than nothing, and of course it will speed up the overall masking process. And here we have the last gray plastic sprue, so another pair of the wing halves. We also have the cockpit floor here, another tail section, but this one will not be used in today's version. And the same can be said about tail wings, and I can guess. Here you can see that again we have a lot of guiding elements inside, so everything looks really nice, and I really doubt that you have any issues here, so it's just a matter of getting all of those things together. Okay, next we continue with the decal sheet. This one is printed. Well, it's not written where it's printed, but it's printed in a nice quality. And here we have all of the necessary symbols, surprisingly, even though we have only this instrument panels for the cockpit, no seat belts. So in case you would like to have a seat belts, you have to search for some aftermarket P, which will allow you to copy this feature. And next we continue with assembly manual. So here I will have to zoom out a bit. Let's place the sticker here, and maybe in the meantime I can also remind you that here we have the small brochure with the ICM paints. So yes, ICM also producing paints now, and this is really great product without even, let's say, saying that it's sponsored or something. I tried it, you can see it in the build videos. So really nice paint which is easy to use with airbrush and with a normal brush as well. So definitely recommend it. And what is really cool that they make the special sets for each of their kits. So here is the assembly manual. As you can see we have short history note, technical specifications, and also the paints chart. Next we continue with the parts map. Obviously red color means that these parts will not be used, so not that many will stay on the sprues, but still it's worth paying attention. And here we start with the right fuselage half. We also assemble the tail section, as you can see, in place. Then we start working on the cockpit floor, and here maybe it's a wise idea to think through how to paint all of this stuff in advance, because later it will be really difficult to reach. So next we continue with another fuselage half, then we join them together, as you can see here, and then we continue with the clear part. parts. So again, I remind you that these clear parts, they are I would say somewhat important because they will be showing the interior, and that's why we will see if we will have the masking templates. So here you can see also the landing gear being installed in place. Engine is quite detailed, but manufacturer does not suggest an option with an open cowlings. So in case you would like to expose one, you will have to think through, or maybe just not to glue the frontal section of the cowling in place. That's also an option. And yes, we have the masking template here, which is really cool because, as you can see, a lot of things to cover. That's the first marking option in gray color, one more in the camouflage on the top, and one more here, and the fourth one in a green-gray color, so also quite an interesting build. But overall, I think it's a great build for modelers who missed the initial releases, or they wanted to depict this aircraft with some unusual marking. In 1/72 scale, it will be quite engaging build, and you get a lot of stuff in the box. And it should be already available. You can get it, for example, in Modelimex webshop. I will be happy to hear your opinion about such model. Write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video release. As usual, stay tuned and bye.